going on? It's your boy Buddha, back in the building for another last Cloudia video. Now, if you saw my previous Maja video, you'll probably remember me saying I'd be back with some more 4-star showcase videos, but then my gears started turning and I thought, why do that, right? I think the best format, so that I don't have to make 6 videos all covering, 3 covering the same topics at 4-star and then 3 covering the exact same topics at 5-star. Why not just kind of mingle them together and do one video at 4-star showing the general PvE showcase, and then when it comes to endgame content like world bosses, multiplayer, and whatever else I can maybe think of, arena when I'm ready for it, we'll just take him up to the 5-star showcase, and that will be the format of these character showcases moving forward. Now, will that change when the next character comes out? Maybe, because as you can see, your boy Buddha is very spontaneous, and I have thoughts that come to me just randomly, but this is how we're going to do Maja showcasing. So, with this video, we're going to cover world bosses, but before that, we have to show respect to the creepy grandpa himself and ascend him to that 5-star enhancement with those pretty blue stars. As we can see, going Super Saiyan, and boom, enhancement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A very badass line by Maja himself. So now at this point, I can go ahead, unlock his 120 out of 120 board, get him to level 100 out of 110, get his SC up another 10 points, and we'll jump into some action with Maja. Okay, we are back, baby, with Maja. Finally, where he needs to be in order to start off this 5-star showcase against world bosses. We will do the proper ritual and unlock his ward right here. We have the souls saved up. 200 out of 310 is what we need. Staff equipped, magic damage plus 1%. Nothing too impactful until you're able to build up more wards that can kind of be cohesive and work together. Once this starts accumulating up to like 5% and beyond, it will be a lot more significant to the entire account as a whole. But just one at a time is all we can do in order to make these wards worth it. So there we go. Now we've got Maja in a comfortable spot where I'm ready to take him into battle and put on a good show of what he's able to do against a lot of the end game content we currently have. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Maja is rocking. To be honest with you, I don't even have his SC all the way filled. I think I have him up to 92 or 94 accessible SC, and with everything I have taught to him and everything that's going to be relevant to this battle in particular, I'm only able to bring him up to about 70 SC in skills because he comes with so much. There are a lot of other things I still need to teach him, but we don't really need it in this case. So for starters, we're starting off with the magic spell, Starverse. That's all we're going to need. One of the strongest light spells in the game. MP ups on him because we'll definitely need a nice MP pool. Because I had a ton of SC, I just stacked up, magic up 4 here, which is a limited skill, I think, but I have the space, so why not? Arcane up 2 is very nice since you get some intelligence and MP all in one skill. Critical up 2s and 3s just because we will be able to crit on our light magic. Not that we're going to need it, I just had some SC room to spare. Human Geyser he comes with, which is great. We just saw how effective this was in the Tower of Trials with Maja, making it look like an absolute joke. So if we were fighting humans in this case, I would have special boost to pair along with this, but we're not. We're fighting god types, so no geyser effects in this match specifically, but it's really not even going to matter. Going further down, spent some more SC on some light boost, light mega boost, which of course, as we know, this is also a very limited spell on the UR Arc Lily Matter. Again, in these 5-star endgame showcases, I like to take any tools I have and use them just to showcase, give you a reference of very powerful things on top of these characters. If you haven't been playing the game for that long and don't have these tools, just know that these are the kinds of skills that can elevate those units, and you want to be on the lookout for them, be saving your crystals for things like that in specific strategies. If you know Mage is one of your main dudes, you want to make him look the best. Pose of Honor, I don't think we're going to take advantage of too much, but this boss does spawn mobs, so if we can snag some kills and I can get 5% MP extra if I need an extra spell cast, you know, more power to Maja. Archangel's Blessing isn't applicable here. Goddess Kiss, again, 11 SC, but had the room to spare, so I just activated it just in case we gotta take some chances with normal attacks. And everything else is innate besides Staff High Boost, Robe Boost, Magic Aura, and Spell Linkage, all extra multipliers to that magic damage. Very important, especially for those wondering what are some essential skills to increasing magic damage. You know, your staff boosts, your robe high boost. Magic Aura is a great one. That's basically your sharp eyes for magic. Spell linkage is great if you know you're only going to be using one spell consecutively. You can get up to that plus 20% magic damage. But it should be noted that spell linkage doesn't just you can bring other spells, but you're not going to get the bonuses unless you're using the same spell consecutively. If you then switch to another spell, it basically restarts. So every time you use a spell and then you use it again, you jump up plus 4% damage. And then let's say you use it 2 more times, you're at plus 12% damage. Then we go to another spell, it goes back down to 0. But then if you use that other spell consecutively, you'll start getting that spell linkage boost again. So just wanted to clarify that one. And that's the setup. That's all we're going to need. Just some light magic boosts, some magic damage increasers, and starvers. And with that, equips I should go over. We've got a lot more end game stuff going on here. So we've got the Archon Wand, Granazon, which I don't have at plus 40. Neither do I have the Fantasia Cape at plus 40, but these are Godforge items. You will probably need to approach end game before you ever touch these things, but should be aspiring to get them, especially for your late game purposes, because the stat increases, the effects on these certain items are just ridiculous. You can see from both of these we're getting plus 45% magic damage, and that's not even the maximum amount you can get. Once you get both of these to plus 40, those numbers go up more. Cultist Pendant is basically, in my eyes, a must run on Maja unless you are really not chasing damage casting speed for any reason. But this basically pulls Maja up to that plus 40%, which is his max casting speed cap for attack magic. And Stone Statue of a Bird. This is unaccessible to you if you weren't playing in the Dr. Stone collab, but it's great because it completely bypasses the effect where he faints on his second trait if he takes enough damage. This makes it literally never happen, right? You're unable to faint from enemy attacks. And in this case, it does make Maja unable to faint completely from his second trait. Great equip to have, but we know that there are a ton of other workarounds to Maja's feint. You can bring, if you have Spirit Maiden Tyria, she casts a feint null barrier on top of all of the allies. If you've got the Arc Bell Tower, that also creates feint nullification. And if you don't have those, you can at least run Concentration to reduce that feint time, which is another skill that's accessible on, I think, an R and SR arc, so very easy to get. That's about it as far as what we have him built on. I am running, of course, a Lily Matter because we're going to take advantage of the skill, which is going to increase light damage cap by plus 3,300 and give us extra damage boost, light magic boost, and in terms of the trait, that's also going to give another plus 20% to our light damage and magic attack damage, plus 15% light dart magic damage cap plus 3,000. So if you had Lily Matter up and this skill level to 10, you would be getting a plus 10,000 cap on top of all of your magic damage, which is absurd. We've only got ours at level 2 because I've only pulled ever one duplicate of it. So can't quite make Maja look insane, reaching that like 100,000k hit cap. But we can definitely still make him look impressive. And then, of course, like this is just one of the best arcs to run if you're going for a light or dark mage, getting their max damage potential out of them. So that's the goal here. We should be able to take down the first wave pretty easily with the setup, so I'll probably cut and load in when it's time for Maja's turn, so see you in just a second. Alright, here we are loading in to the second phase of the Occulted God of Old fight. where I am ready to just make Maja look. He makes this stage probably look like a cheat code. So we're immediately going to just activate Lily Matter to get all those bonuses, and I don't believe we're going to lose any of those buffs before this battle is over. I think one Starverse is going to pretty much bring Darz here down to his HP thresholds. So let's just activate it while it is very slow. We get to just kind of sit here, and I don't know if I want to queue up another one, but I'm going to. This is kind of a test run for me as well, because I don't know the timing if we're going to be able to take out this guy's basically HP cap. So yes, we did hit that first one, so let's go ahead and wait a second. He's going to do a little animation here. And then it takes a couple seconds before you can actually deal some damage to him again. There are these mobs I'm talking about, and hopefully if we activate a Starverse, one, it's going to allow us... There we go. So once you see that heal, you know he can be dealt damage to again. And looks like we can't actually take out these guys with the magic, sadly. But I think we'll be at just a fine position here. We are getting actually smacked around hard. Huh. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit confused at what exactly just happened there. You saw that Maja had no issue taking down the boss, but I have never been assaulted like that by those MIDI Reapers that decided to literally slaughter Maja in the matter of a couple seconds. I'm going to go back in and just try and spam Starverse because I have cleared this solo with Lily, Shift Lily, before. I don't understand why it'd be any different for Maja here, other than the fact that maybe because Lily has auto heal, that has pretty much saved her from those Reaper attacks that we just experienced. Gonna see if that was just kind of a one-time thing, because I was not expecting it, and we'll report back in a second. Alright, here we are for round 2. You get to see some Buddha trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to do what I did with Shift Lily, activate Lily Matter, and then just start spamming Starverses without thinking about any consequences. Because it seemed like when I was trying to time certain things, it just kind of backfired in my face. So we've got this one, we've got the second one off, and we're just going to keep queuing up Starverses like there's no tomorrow. Try to get Stygian Commander Asshole down to his HP locks. Now, I don't think this third one is going to deal any damage to Darz if my first run through was correct, because he hasn't recharged. See, that's the thing. We didn't reach that one, which kind of sucks. So we're running low on MP. This might actually backfire for us. Just because I'm worried about these HP locks that Darz has, except it seems that now we're able to see, there we go, there's that third one. And we've only got 2 more Starverses in the tank. So unless we can just take this guy down immediately, which we can. Okay, so there it is. There's the successful Maja solo. I'm going to leave both of them in just because I'm going to show, you know, not everything can be perfect, but it seemed that just spamming the Starverses with Maja is what allowed us to easily take down that boss solo. Carol, of course, could come in here and easily solo this boss, right? The final one, of course, with no arcs, no weapons at all. But this isn't a Carol highlight showcase, everyone. We're talking about Maja, the inferior character, but we still gotta give him the spotlight. Ooh, okay. Now, to wrap up this showcase, I'm gonna take Maja into a stage that I think normally would not be considered a great stage to run him in. For the simple fact that Zleorg the Devourer is a boss that has a ton of HP, goes through a ton of different cycles and phases where he HP locks, which basically just drags the fight on very long, in which case Maja intuitively wouldn't be too effective in at all, since Maja, a lot of his strengths rely in nuking wave by wave, getting some MP regen per wave. In this kind of fight, there are no waves. It's drawn out over a long time, which means every spell he casts is typically going to drain so much MP, you're going to be left with nothing way before the fight's even close to ending. However, here's a couple things that I want to test out. I built a Maja that is what I would consider pretty much the epitome of a rainbow mage that I can currently make him to be. So let's go over his build, because we know that Zleorg the Devourer, he goes through these phases of spawning these spirits that are of a particular element, and I think the idea behind this stage is that you want to have the proper effective element in order to take down whichever spirit phase Zleorg is spawning. So hopefully my goal is to one-tap all of these spirit phases. We just recently saw Tweaks post a video of Lagrabos popping these spirits with apocalypses. I want to see if I can achieve the same effect with Maja being a true rainbow mage, and if he has the capability and power in order to not only take out these spirits with one spell, but also deal enough damage to Zleorg and eventually take him down all the way and defeat this stage. We've got plenty of support, sustained support. As you can see, the combo of Tyria and Ruto is just absolutely ridiculous. I do have them there just because I don't know what's going to happen. The main observation here is, can Maja effectively clear this stage with the amount of DPS he's able to pump out? So let's go ahead and look at the build I currently have on Maja. As you can see, we have all of the elements covered with non-stackable spells. I did have to teach Abyss Gate to Maja manually, since he doesn't come with any dark magic innate in his kit. We have the MP ups on him, of course, all the magic ups and arcane up 2. I did take off magic up 4 just to save that extra SC. Crit up 2, and he comes with 3, so we're getting a plus 13%, but then I also have critical phaser on Spirit Maiden Tyria to cast to give that extra plus 15%, boosting us up, because you'll see the arc allows us to activate crit on all of our magic abilities, since I don't use Maja's paid gear at all currently. Proud Force, of course, because those crits are going to result in some HP recovery. I made a change midway through explanation. I did add special boost because I forgot Zleorg is considered a sorcerer in this actual battle, even though when you get his unit, his typing is a spirit. In this battle, he is a sorcerer, which makes him a human type, making this special boost human geyser combo extremely effective against him. Then, of course, there are some more innate spells, and here we go. Here's where a lot of people might cringe. I gave Zleorg a bunch of boosts in each elemental category. Now, will this pay off? We will see. The goal with this build is just to hopefully be able to cap with every single elemental non-stackable spell that we have. So we'll see if that proves effective or not. May not, but I mean, with a bunch of high boosts at 30% increases everywhere, seems pretty effective to me. The only one I didn't have taught or have the extra SC for is Earth High Boost. So Nether Tempest sadly isn't getting that 30% buff, but I'm hoping it won't matter because of everything else we have. Archangel's Blessing won't help us here. A movable object, high level magic chain, ultimate casting we're going to be relying on, of course. Then of course our staff boosts are going to give us those big bonuses. I did take off robe boost to save some SC because then we were able to use things like Special Boost. We've got Magic Aura, Convergence, and Divine Rights. I'm going to see if Divine Rights, I don't even know if it's necessary. I just tried to pump as much magic damage percentage into this man as I could. And with Divine Rights, one of those stipulations is that we have to wait. So we're literally going to stand there for the first 30 seconds of this stage until Maj is able to cast spells. Then I'll go ahead and cast Critical Phaser, and we'll get to work and see what happens. Hopefully, let me show the equipment I have. Archon Wand, of course, Granazon, Fantasia Cape are all staying the same. Cultist Pendant is staying there. However, Energy Stone Ring, I decided to slap on him because it's going to give a plus 8% to 4 out of the 6 elements we're using. And when taking those types of magic damage, which Zleorg does do, he pumps out a ton of different elemental magic damage, we can hopefully recover 20% of damage as HP. I don't think that'll matter too much since we have the god duo, Spirit Maiden Tyria and Ruto there. We've got plenty of survivability sustain. But I just wanted to make sure we could stay alive because Zleorg goes through these such annoying phases of like locking certain units. I'm hoping all of like the locking goes onto Ruto. That's my motive for bringing him, so that we never get locked by Maja never gets locked, which means he can't cast any spells or literally do anything, and you can't really cure out of it from what I'm remembering. So we're hopefully not going to worry about that with Ruto being there. Spirit Mage Interior will keep everyone alive and provide buffs, and it'll be fine. But the real observation here is to see if Maja can take down this boss as a mage who expends a ton of MP and doesn't have really a great source of recovering it back. We're running Divine Beast Lugmechia as the Arc. Not for the first part of this trait, but for God, it activates automatic MP recovery. Now, I don't know if this stacks, so let's check Lake's Gold Mine. Okay, so I do believe that the Divine Beast Lugmechia heals 4 MP every 6 seconds. I think that will stack with auto advanced magic circles, giving us a little bit of extra MP regen every 6 seconds. Of course, it's not going to be super relevant here. It will mean something if we run out of MP before we're able to deal enough damage, but just a little bonus on top of the fact that we can deal criticals on every single magic attribute. Now, does Proud Force and crits matter too much in this case because we have Spirit Mage Interior and Ruto? Probably not, but this is going to be a great art to run on Maja if you're kind of a starter. This is one of the general pool SSRs, so it's more easily accessible than a lot of the limited ones like Lily Matter. I think it will help a ton of players if you don't have his paid gear, and if we are struggling to reach damage caps. Hopefully the crits will bring us up to consistent caps on our crits, meaning just a little extra damage, because the goal of this whole entire setup is to be able to deal maximum damage with all different elements. So, is this the smartest big brand build that you've ever seen on Maja? Probably not. This is something I'm testing out live so that we can take a look together and see if we can make Maja a true effective rainbow mage in some end game content where it is actually useful, and in a stage that would typically be one of Maja's pretty weak spots. But here we go. We're literally, like I said, going to just stand here for 30 seconds because you see we can't activate anything because of Divine Rights. So until then, I'm just going to go ahead and cast a ton of team buffs from Tyria while we wait, and I'll probably cut to when we can get to work. So we can see the little icon here. As soon as that's going away, then we can start the business. It's flashing now. We're getting ready. Ruto's holding the attention, and we're ready to go. So we've got all of Maja's magic unlocked. Let's see. I've never actually checked this guy's resistances, so it seems he's mostly weak to the dark magic element. What I am going to do is cast weak with Tyria so that we can lower those resistances down even more. Boom, there's that. Oh no, he's already got weak applied to him and Holy Circle, so this is as low in resistances as we can make this man. He's got 55 resistance to light damage. Let's see if a Starverse can actually still penetrate enough, because those are where most of Maja's boosts are innate in his kit. So let's see what kind of damage we are capping with him, which is awesome. So we got him down to his first phase, which means he's now going to be weak to electric. Beautiful. And you can see Zleorg's resistances change with whichever spirit is active on the field. So right now we're going to use an X-Radia and see what kind of damage we can pump out. I don't want to queue up another spell just in case. Wow, so we were able to one-tap. We were able to one-tap that spirit, which is awesome to see. And then let's see what the next spirit that we're dealing with is. Looks like we're going to be casting fire, since that will be the main thing here. Although Zleorg's not actually weak to fire in this case, sadly. I'm going to go ahead and queue up a Big Bang, but then also try and switch targets and cast weak to this enemy, just so we know that the spirit will go down. All while paying attention to the damage that Zleorg is taking himself. So there's the weak. Well, I think weak actually just went to Zleorg rather than the Sylph. Sadly, let's try that one more time. Tyria, can you do me a solid here? So weak, boom. I don't know if we're going to be able to take out the... Yeah, we weren't able to actually take out the Sylph, so I'm going to have to activate another Big Bang. But look at Zleorg's health, like, dropping rapidly, which is quite awesome to see. Yeah, that's some beautiful damage. We are hitting another HP cap. We can see the Mage is getting about 20 MP per 6 seconds. Nothing too crazy, nothing too great. And what do we got? What do we got on everybody right now? Zleorg, you need to be debuffed, my friend. So we need to get to some debuffs from Tyria again. Oh, I forgot to activate Critical Phaser. But I'm looking at these damage numbers that Homeboy's pumping out, and it seems like a pretty good scenario. I'm going to go ahead and queue up an Absolute Zero. And then try and get some weeks off with Tyria. So there's that one right there. And what else can we do to you, my friend? Maybe Giga Nemesis to lower that mind. That seems like a good idea. Oh yeah, that's some great damage. That's some great damage we're seeing. All right, what else do you got? What else do you got for us, Lord? What element is this guy? Looks like you are going to be weakest to Absolute Zero again. So maybe we can just queue that up and actually go to weaken. Oh no, this guy's weak to, oh shoot. Okay, hold on. Hold up. I need to cancel. I didn't cancel in time. That's a real buzzkill. That's a real buzzkill. What happened there? So this guy's actually weak to X Radia, which is what we want to cast now. Really messed up there because we lost a ton of MP output. But let's try and get that. Let's try and get that resolved. We're gonna go with another Giga Nemesis from Tyria, and maybe what else? Some weak. But we are literally just blowing up these spirits, which is really cool. Although I don't think we're gonna have enough. I don't think we're gonna have. Whoa, who's this guy? You're invisible. This guy's invisible right here. You are weak to fire. You're heavily weak to fire. So we're gonna queue up that Big Bang. And that should be plenty of damage for you. I'll go ahead and try and get weak on top of Zleorg here. So that'll lower his resistances even more. And what can we do? What can we do from here? I guess just keep casting some buffs or debuffs from the enemy. Alright, so now we are in the unfortunate stage of Maja not having enough MP. We're going to have to just wait these painful, like 6 to 7 or 6 seconds, depending on how many times we need to regen MP. Well, there we go. We've got MP now for one spell. So now let's see what's going on here. Zleorg is actually weak to dark right now, and so is the Will-O-Wisp. So I'm just going to go ahead and cast Abyss Gate, which is probably not the best spell right now, but I think it'll deal some good damage since both of them are already weak. Not quite what we need. Oh, it is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful damage against Zleorg. Beautiful. So Ruto is locked. You can see that icon. He is taking all of what I need him to take. And then what are you, my friend? What are you? You are neutral to light and dark. And you're actually weak to fire right now. That's so random. It was so random. I'm going to go ahead and launch. Do you have weak on you, my friend? You do. I'm going to try and get Holy Circle. Actually, no. I wish I had Shadow Circle right now. But we'll go ahead and launch Starverse just to absolutely explode this little Sylph right here. Since you're neutral, I already know. Yeah, you're going down. And Zleorg took a giant amount of HP down as well. So this is actually not going as poorly. It's actually going pretty well. You are dark. Am I not wrong? Yeah, so as soon as we gain enough MP, that's the problem. That's our only problem right now, is that we have to wait for Maja to get his MP. Luckily, he has auto-advanced magic circles. And I think that Lugmekia SSR arc is helping just a bit. So until then, we can just use Tyria in order to basically survive. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Magic Castles. We need to get as much sustainability. We need to get as much resistance to the onslaught of damage as we possibly can right now. I'm going to go ahead and use Bodhisattva's Palm on this guy, since I don't think he's going to take... This little spirit's not going to take the damage too well at a -50 resistance to light. Yeah, those are some great damage caps, and we just one-shotted it. And I think with one more regen, yep, we should have enough. We should definitely have enough to take down whoever is next in terms of the whatever fairy he's going to spawn in. Although he just healed by a ton. But we've got a bunch of different spirits on the field right now. What is Zleorg weak to? Weakest to? Weakest to dark right now. You're neutral to dark. You're weak to dark. You're 50 res to dark. I think he's spawning everything. How are light resistances looking? You're neutral to light, 95 to light. I think dark is the one we want to go with here. As soon as he spawns however many, I think that's it. Just 3 spirits at a time. No worries. Luckily, Abyss Gate is also actually our lowest costing spell right now. And I think it's able to do the trick in taking out these spirits and dealing substantial damage to Zleorg. Oh yeah, we like that. I'm not mad at that at all. Zleorg has a ton of debuffs on him. I think that's Tyria just going to work automatically, which is great. Other than that, I think I'm just gonna keep doing some Abyss Gates. Actually, I'm gonna let some MP regen. I'm gonna let Zleorg spawn some more fairies if that's what he wants to do. But it doesn't look like he does, so we're just gonna go ahead and cast Starverse just to get that max potential amount of damage that we can get. Very nice MP drain right there, and a nice 78,000 damage cap on top of that. But now we have to kind of sit here just painfully and wait for MP regen to happen with Maja. If I had Goddess Kiss on him, it would probably prove to be a little more effective than just sitting here waiting painfully. But luckily, everything's going according to plan. Ruto is taking all the attention with his allure stacks that he innately comes with. So we could just literally just sit here and wait our 6 seconds intervals, gain some MP back, launch a Starverse off while Maja's kind of safe in the corner. And kind of just let Zleorg be patient with his own demise. Alright, waiting just one more second, and Starverse again. I don't think this Starverse will take out Zleorg. I think it'll take one more after this. But, I mean, we've got time. We've got 18 minutes. Now we just sit here patiently. And with that, we have the final Starverse needed in order to wipe out Zleorg. And I think, funny enough, get the fastest clear time I actually will achieve on this stage. There's the final blow to Zleorg. We maybe could have taken off Magic Aura and put on Forbidden Book. There are definitely some tweaks that I'm thinking about as we did this battle in order to make it a little less painful. But yeah, look at that. New clear time, 6 minutes 52 seconds. Just became a matter of patience and waiting, but a very lazy and boring way to take down this stage, but effective, as we saw nonetheless. No, I would not like to play that again. I think we got the point across. Maja's MP regen is definitely a difficult thing. He looks incredible with wave stages, as we know. But in terms of this, it does take some time. It does take some patience. Unless you build his normal attack to be a reliable source of MP regen, which is already doubly hard because you don't want to be dual wielding with him. Maja, I think, just has to suffer through the patience game more times than not. But nonetheless, he got the job done with that combo of Spirit Man Tyria and Ruto. You know, we didn't have to worry about dying. We didn't have to worry about any sufferings like that. So, Maja, there you go. There's the ultimate Rainbow Mage build that I have come up with. That Divine Rights absolutely made an impact because you saw we weren't quite reaching damage cap on everything, but when we weren't, it was mainly because like Zleorg or the spirits had some pretty high resistances to whichever element we were casting, and even then we were dealing very sizable chunks of damage, making all of his magic very relevant and bringing out that potential of Maja's rainbow magic. So I'm very happy with that. I guess I do want to go over some differences that I forgot to mention in the beginning of this video, because when we were talking in his 4-star showcase, I said I didn't think Maja came with any skills added once you 5-starred him, and that was actually incorrect. because he does gain the skill Light Attack Raise 3, another 30% to any light attack damage, and a light damage cap of plus 2,000. On top of that, right, that first trait changes, gains that 40% extra to magic damage, and that's just to all attributes, not just light magic, and a damage cap plus 5,000, and then also when robe is equipped, magic damage cap plus 5,000. So with both of those active, you got another plus 2,000 cap. So with his 5-star, he does get that 4,000 damage cap for his magic, and light magic specifically, and then that extra 10% to magic damage as a whole. His Divine Works doesn't change, as we know. And then on top of that, he just gets extra multipliers on his S1, 2, and 3 and stats all together. But there we go, guys. That's the Maja showcase. I have a lot of editing to do. That's Maja specifically against endgame world bosses. We saw him completely obliterate Occulted God of Old Phase 2, since that's pretty much tailor-made for any light mage. And we saw how effective he can actually be. Now, if we had like a Spirit Maiden Tyria, Maja, and then some pretty viable DPS with Trishula facing Zleorg, I think you now make that stage look like absolute cake, since you're able to basically pop those spirits very easily and not have to deal with their annoying magic spams. So Maja as a background damage rainbow mage for any account, new or veteran, is very, very standoutish. I can't say I'm not impressed. Even though the playstyle's not my cup of tea, just standing there waiting for his MP regen to kick back in like we did in the Zleorg fight. Like, for example, when we brought him into Tower of Trials during that live stream, running him in multi-wave content in the 4-star showcase, he is going to make a huge impact on any account. And for that reason alone, I think he's a very strong character to start with as a new player, as I said in the last video as well. But even for endgame content, if you can build him correctly and take advantage of his just extreme damage output, he's going to make everything more smooth on your account. So big props if you've got him. He's got my thumbs up in terms of a character that can just add a lot to your account. And I think that's all I got for you this time, guys. I think next time I'm going to bring him into some multiplayer stages, and that will be a separate video as well, but I'd like to see him in there. Haven't even touched him in Arena, so I have no thoughts of him in there. I'll definitely let you know my thoughts as they continue to evolve. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. If you have Maja, if you're using them and loving them, or if you can't stand them because you're just a mage hater, he's kind of converted me, so I am very mixed feeling. I have very mixed feelings right now, very conflicting inside. Turn on all notifications if you want to know exactly when I post. You won't be out of the loop in case of emergency situations. And with all that being said, guys, y'all know what we say. Work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.